Speaking of Batman, America's Joker has been having a tough time on the campaign trail recently. And it seems like every woman has accused him of shaking hands with their vaginas. Paul Ryan asked someone else to spot him at the gym, and in the presidential race, his numbers have fallen faster than Hillary at a 9/11 memorial. At this rate, you realize Hillary doesn't have to do anything to beat Donald Trump. She just has to run out the clock. She should just sit in a tree like Rue in the Hunger Games, just waiting for everything to finish. Just like Rue looking at Hillary going... And Rue's like, stop pandering, Hillary, stop it. Now, there's a reason everything is going wrong for Donald Trump. It's because he's a terrible man who's done terrible things and has a terrible plan for the country. But why is he really losing?
This whole election is being rigged.
It's rigged like you've never seen before.
The whole thing is one big fix.
Our system is rigged. You know it, they know it, I know it, and pretty much the whole world knows it.
Yes, the whole world knows it. If you went to a remote village in Nigeria and said, what do you guys know about America? They'd say, your elections are rigged. And Chipotle makes you shit for days. That is what we know, huh? Just so you know, Trump thinks everything in the world is rigged. For instance, in 2012, he thought Mitt Romney lost because the election was rigged. He also tweeted that the Electoral College wasn't legit. And when The Apprentice lost the Emmy to The Amazing Race, he said that the whole process was also rigged, which is just stupid. Of course, it was going to win. It had the word amazing in it. You should have called your show The Amazing Apprentice. That's your fault, Donald Trump. And now, obviously, making a claim that the US presidential election is rigged is a very serious and unprecedented thing to do. And it poisons the well for anyone who becomes president. But luckily, Trump has offered specific evidence of these crimes.
Hillary Clinton meets in secret with international banks to plot the destruction of US sovereignty.
Wait. So let me get this straight. Hillary's been running for 20 years just so that when she finally gets power, she can hand it over to the banks? Clearly, you haven't met Hillary. Hillary's been thirsty for the White House so much that every time she eats a turkey sandwich, she pardons it first. She's been so thirsty for the White House, every Halloween, she goes as the sitting president. That's what she does. And by the way, these past couple of years have been a little tricky for her. It's been a tough one to pull off. By the way, if you're not into vaguely anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, don't worry. Trump has a choose-your-own-adventure of who's rigging the election. And one of his more popular stories is that black people have stopped stealing stereos, and now they're stealing votes.
We have to make sure that this election is not stolen from us and is not taken away from us.
Go and watch these polling places. I hear too many stories about Pennsylvania, certain areas. And we can't lose an election because of you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, nicely played, Donald. Yeah, if that speech was a car, the N-word was right in the middle of the road, and Donald swerved around it at the last section. We can't lose an election because of you know what I'm talking about. You know. Here's a quick question. If you're genuinely trying to warn America about one of the greatest scandals ever, why wouldn't you just say what you're talking about? Why would you allude to it and beat around the bush? Fire! Fire! Where? You know where. You know. So he's blamed the banks, he's blamed the blacks, but the thing he's blamed the most is the thing he can't live without.
The election is being rigged by corrupt media.
The corrupt media is trying to do everything in their power to stop our movement.
The crooked Hillary Clinton campaign and the mainstream media, which they control and use quite viciously.
Oh, Donald Trump. The media is not rigged against you. They're just recording what you say and playing it back. That's all it is. If anything, you're rigging your own campaign. Does Trump not realize that he's the one on TV saying the things that make him look bad? Maybe, we laugh at him, but maybe he doesn't realize. Maybe he watches TV going, who's that guy? He makes me look like shit. Like, maybe Donald Trump is like those animals who don't recognize themselves in a mirror. Trump is that gorilla. I'm just kidding. Trump is not a wild animal, come on. Because if he was, his sons would have killed him by now. Seriously, Donald Trump, the media has given you billions of dollars of free airtime. You realize that? Billions of dollars. How are they rigging it against you? Even your empty podium has been on TV more than Gary Johnson and Jill Stein combined. Although at least your podium knows where Aleppo is. Now, we've got more to cover, but unfortunately our show is rigged by advertisers, so we got to do that thing where we go away for a little bit. You know what I'm talking about. You know. Hey there, it's The Daily Show's Trevor Noah. We have our own YouTube channel now, so please do subscribe. I'll wait, so you can... I won't even look, just because I know that's weird. Sort of like when a dog's doing its thing. You can just... Yeah, just subscribe. I won't look.